Hey, we're Demir and Carrie from Lifehack Bootcamp. We're here to show you how to get an edge in your workflow so you can get more done and just get back to your life.
So in this video, we're talking all about accountability. And accountability is such a hot topic right now, but how does it actually work?
So let's just use the example of a client of ours named Vanessa. And Vanessa was doing what I think a lot of people do. She was dipping her toe into the idea of starting a business. She really wanted to, but every time she put her toe in, she would jump out, right? Not really diving in, little bit in, little bit out. So she did what a lot of us do. She just decided to read more books, take more courses, right? Stuffing more knowledge into her head, but she wasn't taking action.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much information available out there that knowledge and learning things is no longer the problem that we have. It's actually turning that knowledge into action that becomes the hardest part.
Yeah, that sounds so easy, right? Just take action. But when we go to take action on those big, hairy, scary goals, we realize it's really hard. It could actually be the hardest thing an adult can do.
Yeah, and you find that actually the bigger the goal, the bigger your fear response, the bigger your resistance to it. And you start procrastinating and finding every reason not to take action. So in the case of Vanessa starting a new business, she has a delayed gratification for a long time. And she's putting herself up for rejection and looking like a failure in front of the people that matter to her most. So of course, there's going to be a huge fear response going on in her brain.
And that's just because of how our brains evolved, right? We have a very powerful negativity bias built into our brain because it's kept us alive. And that served us really well in the last couple millions of years when even getting a scratch could get infected and you could die. But we don't live in that environment anymore. We live in an environment where we need to take big risks. We need to be bold, but this limbic center of our brain and our negativity bias and our fear response is holding us back.
Yeah, so that's why it can sometimes feel like you're seeing everything in your world through a lens of fear. And scientists actually call this having fear goggles on because it truly feels like everything is filtered through that lens.
Social scientists like Angela Duckworth and Carol Dweck have pointed out that we need qualities like grit and discipline to be able to overcome this fear bias and actually be successful in this modern world that we have. But the problem that we're learning about discipline and willpower is that it's less like a bank, like we thought it was, and it's more like an emotion. It's fleeting. It's sort of here today, gone tomorrow.
I mean, think about it. If you had discipline on tap, then you would have written that book. You would have started that new business. You'd be a lot skinnier, right?
Is that it? Are we just sort of stuck there? I mean, when we run out of willpower, when we run out of grit, where can we create more?
Well, good news. Humans have another evolutionary tool that's even more powerful and even more consistent than willpower, and it's social pressure.
Yep.
Humans have a strong desire to fit in with the group.
I mean, isn't that what accountability is at the end of the day? I mean, it's being part of a group that's exerting positive social pressure. And because of that pressure, we stick with it and we accomplish big goals.
Yeah, I mean, we're evolved to fit in. And that need is stronger than our resistance, and it's stronger than our fear. And it's more infinite than willpower. It's never going to go away.
I mean, think about how cool this is. Accountability bypasses our fear and resistance and gives us this powerful incentive to do big things even when we don't want to do them.
I mean, think about this example. You probably have a pretty tough time waking up at 4 a.m. to jump into a cold plunge pool, right? But think about if you were a part of a group where every single person was waking up at 4 and taking the cold plunge. Well, all of a sudden, if you didn't do it, you would be the odd one out. And suddenly you're feeling that social pressure to fit in, and it overcomes your fear of the cold water because it's replaced it with a new fear, which is not fitting in.
Or think about when you promised a coworker or a boss or a client to get something done and there was all that social pressure to deliver and you made miracles happen. Sometimes you can get things done in 24 or 48 hours that would have taken you a week to get done.
But then when you tell yourself you want to lose 5 pounds, suddenly it's 3 years later and you haven't made any progress on that goal.
So guys, the American Society of Training and Development found that if you commit to somebody that you're going to get something done, the chances you're going to get that done go up 65%. And if you actually have an appointment in the future, an accountability session in the future with that same person, it goes up to 95%. So there's a proven and documented link between making commitments and having accountability and actually achieving big things.
Yeah, I mean, accountability is one of the biggest reasons why we're able to get clients such big results in our 60-day Lifehack Bootcamp is because we surround them with that positive social pressure and create an environment where it becomes much easier to create that behavioral change that previously people struggled with.
So here's the question. When it comes to the big goals that you have in your life, writing a book, starting a business, losing weight, the big ones, do you want to go it alone? And you know that's the hard path? Or do you want to take the easier path and surround yourself with accountability that really works?
Of course, the problem here is that there's a right way to create accountability, and there's definitely a wrong way. So in the next video, we're going to show you our techniques to create an accountability system that actually works.
If you like videos about how to be the best version of yourself so you can create the life that you really want to be living, then definitely subscribe to this channel. We've got a lot of cool content about that topic.